हेलो क्लास 12, वेलकम बैक टू अवर चैनल शिक्षक जंक्शन। क्योंकि अब नहीं तो कब। दिस इज आयुषी अग्रवाल एंड वी आर यूजिंग द डिजिटाइज्ड मोड ऑफ स्टडी टू अंडरस्टैंड आवर रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम। सो हेयर वी विल कंटिन्यू। लास्ट के लेक्चर्स में हमने अपना मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया था। नाउ इट्स टाइम टू मूव ऑन फॉरवर्ड with our next type, that is the female reproductive system, as it is very clear from the slide also, है ना। जो आपकी स्क्रीन पर फ्लैश हो रहा है उससे भी आपको समझ में आ रहा होगा कि what we are trying to get, right or wrong? Yes, I think that you might be very clear that what we are going to study right now, है ना। Okay, so first of all, we will try to understand the two diagrams that are there on your screens. Actually, the two diagrams are the same. The differences of the complexity level. So we will one by one deal with these both the diagrams, right? So first of all, starting with the female main or primary reproductive organ, it is this ovary. It is, although it is written ovarian ligament is second thing. The primary sex organ within the females is this ovary part, right? This ovary is the organ which produces the ovum. Here only I am writing so that you can get whatever it produces, right? It produces the ovum and it leads to the secretion of two hormones that we will discuss. But right now we are just trying to understand the diagrammatic part, right? Now after this ovary, another part that comes into the picture is this fallopian tube. So this is the second part which consists of which comprises the main part of this female reproductive system. Now when you come to the fallopian tube, what you have to understand is you have to also get into the three parts out of which this fallopian tube is made up of. This particular, the second figure that you can see gives you the detailings of the fallopian tube, the three regions of this fallopian tube. This finger-like projections which you can see in the figure are termed as fimbriae. Next, these fimbriae collects the ovum that ovary produces and it leads to the second organ, that is this infundibulum. And after this infundibulum, it leads to a section that is known as this ampulla. And after the ampulla, what happens is, or what comes next is this isthmus. So all these parts, all the three contents are related to this fallopian tube, right? This second diagram is a little bit complex. That is why I have tried to explain you the things from the simpler part, because it will be your first time to study the detailing parts, although you have studied in your 10th class also. But I have used another method or another methodology, you can say, of digitized mode, so it should be very clear to you. Now coming back to our previous diagram, that is the simpler one. What it says, after the fallopian tube, next to the fallopian tube, what comes into the picture is this uterus. This uterus is a muscular organ and it is also known as womb. W-O-M-B. Okay, I should write here itself. It is also known as the womb, this uterus only. Okay, this is the muscular part, and detailing obviously we will discuss when we will talk about this. Now after this uterus, it leads to the uterus. This is the uterus lining, that also we will discuss. Next, it leads to the cervix, and finally it leads to the vagina or vagina. Okay, so these are some of the main reproductive organs within the female. Now if you come on again to the detailing part, what it comes in the detailing part, see, we have discussed about this uterus part. So these are the three linings of the uterine cavity which are muscular and leads to the changes during the process of fertilization, or what happens if fertilization will not happen, that also we will discuss later on. Okay, in the subsequent lectures we will talk about that also. So this endometrium, myometrium and perimetrium, these are the three layers within the uterine cavity or within the uterus which undergoes several changes either during the fertilization or if fertilization will not happen. Next, coming on, it leads to the cervix. Then cervix and vagina together forms the cervical canal, right? And it finally leads to the vagina, which is ultimately the birth control organ. So this is how you classify this very particular thing, that is the female reproductive system. Clear? Now, one by one, we have to talk about each organ, and the very first thing that we are going to talk about is about this ovary part, right? So, very first thing that we are going to discuss is with relation to this ovary. Now, again, a very important thing that I would like to tell you here is, if you have tried to skip the video, then don't do that. Otherwise, you are going to miss a lot many things. That is why I have told you that do not skip the video if at all you are trying to, and do subscribe the channel if at all you have not done it so far. Otherwise, then also you are going to miss. So it's up to you what you want to do. Now, coming on to the ovary part, we will talk about this ovary in detail now. Okay. So as I have already told you, it is the primary sex organ within the female. Second important thing about this ovary is it produces ova and will secrete the hormone. The hormones names are, it secretes two hormone, estrogen and progesterone. So these are the two hormones, very important hormones that are secreted by the ovary. Next, coming on to the next point about this ovary, obviously as you can see, it is a solid structure, है ना, that is located on each side of the abdomen. Okay, solid structure or solid organ that remains attached to the body by the ovarian cavity. Okay, before this, let me tell you, I will try to explain you with the figure itself that we have studied earlier. See, from this figure, it might be very clear that this ovary gets attached to the body by means of this ovarian ligament. So these are the ligaments that because of which the ovary gets attached to the abdomen. See, it is very obvious from the figure itself. That is why I have shown you in the figure. See, when we try to understand the concepts with the help of the figure, it becomes easy to learn the things. That is why I try to explain you some of the concepts with the help of the figure. Now, coming on back to the figure part, to this particular thing, it is about the ovary that we are trying to discuss. Okay, solid structure attached to the abdominal wall by means of the ligaments. Next, very important feature about this ovary is the anatomy part. You can see from the figure that, now I'll try to explain the diagram. Okay, let me change the color of the marker so that you can get the points very easily. Okay, I'll take a red color for now so that you can get wherever I am marking. Okay, see, this digitized modes is sometimes useful because you can create the changes according to your need, है ना? That might not be possible in case of the marker because this figure cannot be drawn on the board, है ना? So this ovary is made up of the cuboidal epithelium that is known as this germinal epithelium. What about this? What is so special about this germinal epithelium? It is the cuboidal epithelium. See, I am writing here so just as to explain you the concepts. Okay, it is made up of the germinal epithelium cells. So this is how this cuboidal epithelium is, or the ovary is made up of particular cells that is known as germinal epithelium. Now, what you can see is it contains the two layers that is known as, okay, so this is made up of cuboidal epithelium. Let me write it here also so that I can make you understand through the flow chart. So it is the cuboidal epithelium, and this cuboidal epithelium, or it contains the connective tissue that is called as the stroma. Now this stroma is again divided into two parts that you can see from the figure itself. What are the two parts of which stroma is made up of? The outer layer is known as this cortex and the inner one is known as this medulla. So this stroma has been divided into two layers. The outermost layer is this cortex. I am writing it here only so that you can remember. Again, I am telling you, if you try to skip the video, you will not get whatever we have discussed with the means of the diagram. That is very important. Right, so the stroma has been divided into two. The outermost is the cortex and ultimately the inner one is the medulla. Now this outer one is obviously the cortex, and as you can see from the figure itself, let me again change the color of the marker so that I can just make you an understanding of the concept. This time green, okay, a very decent color, yes. So just as to make you locate everything in the flow chart. So as you can see from the figure, this portion, although green is not visible that much if you don't try to mark upon me, this particular, the loose portion is known as this medulla. So this medulla is termed as the loose layer within the ovary. Right, now what happens is, now again go back to the figure and just try to get me what I am saying. Okay, just try to relate what I trying to make you understand. Right, now see at this cortex layer. Okay, so this cortex layer consists of lot many follicles that you can clearly see from the figure. See, these all are the follicular structures that you can see. These all, and then these all, these are the ovarian follicle. So in this stroma, in the outermost layer that is known as cortex, what you have? You have what are known as the ovarian follicles. In fact, these ovarian follicles are the things or are the structures which ultimately leads to the release of the ova, that we will discuss how. Right, so these lead to the large or the development of the ovarian follicles. Now the fully mature follicle that ultimately leads to the release of the ovum is this. Okay, where it is written, let me find it out, is this Graafian follicle. It is not written, but yes, I'll tell you how you will classify this particular follicle as the Graafian follicle. Okay, so this particular follicle that I am making circle upon it is known as the Graafian follicle. So ovarian follicle, out of which the mature follicle is known as the Graafian follicle. Okay, it is the name of the mature follicle which will ultimately lead to the release of the ovum. So it is the Graafian follicle. Now how I have made you classify this? Because the Graafian follicle contains a fluid filled cavity that is known as this antrum. That is why I have made circle over this follicle and I have tried to explain you why it is known as the Graafian follicle. Okay, let me give a naming here itself so that you can clearly know what actually is the Graafian follicle. If you are just confused what actually is the Graafian follicle, so this Graafian follicle is this part, the encircled portion is the Graafian follicle. I'll just write it down here so that you may not be confused. Right, so this is the Graafian follicle. Why it is termed as Graafian follicle? Because it contains a fluid filled cavity that is known as the antrum. Okay, I'll write here itself what it is. It contains a fluid filled cavity that is known as antrum. And one more thing that you can clearly see from the figure is this oocyte. Okay, so that is why I have termed you, or I have led you classify this as Graafian follicle, and this oocyte is within this Graafian follicle. Now what happens is this oocyte is at the secondary stage, and when it leads to the release of this oocyte, what you will call that particular phenomena? Very simple and very easy to remember is what is called as the ovulation. Now you must remember what actually ovulation is. Okay, first of all, let me write it down. The release of this Graafian follicle, or from the Graafian follicle, the release of the oocyte. In fact, the secondary oocyte is termed as the ovulation. Okay, so this After the ovulation, we will discuss how the ovulation leads to the certain changes. But yes, you must note down that this ovulation is the release of the secondary oocyte from this Graafian follicle. Okay, I think by now you might be clear what I am trying to explain you. Now, what happens after the ovulation, right? So what happens is, after the ovulation happens, what we have discussed up till now, all the labeling has gone because now we don't need that. Now what happens is, the ovulation has happened. That means the secondary oocyte has been released from this Graafian follicle. Now the discharge, after the discharge or after the ovulation, the ruptured follicle, the Graafian follicle which we have discussed, or you can say this one, this has led to the release of this oocyte. You can clearly see from the figure, very clear, right? This ovulated oocyte has released. Now the Graafian follicle, or the follicle that we have discussed, has been ruptured. That this happens after the ovulation has happened, means after the release of oocyte. This ruptured follicle leads to the endocrine structure. What happens is, after the release, I am repeating again and again so that you might not be confused at any point. After the release of this secondary oocyte, the ruptured follicle develops into an endocrine structure. And what this endocrine structure is known as? It is known as the corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is very important as it secretes the hormone, as well as it is important during the fertilization step. So after the secondary oocyte has been released, it develops, or the ruptured follicle develops into a structure known as the corpus luteum. And why it is important? Because it secretes the hormone that we have already discussed. What was that? It was the progesterone. We have talked in the beginning that ovary secretes two hormones. One is the estrogen and another one is the progesterone. So that is how the release of this oocyte is accompanied by the ovary. I think that I have made you clear with each and everything with respect to the ovary. See, only this portion of the female reproductive system we have talked about. Now, in the next lecture, what we will continue is, we will try to understand how this oocyte goes into the other structure that is in continuation with this ovary. And what was that? It was the fallopian tube, right? So with that, we will continue in our next lecture. Till then, if you have any doubt, just ask me either through the comment section or through the Gmail ID which has been already provided to you. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, have a good day. Take care. We will meet in our next lecture. Till then, bye-bye.